Welcome to cs111 e-mentoring session for week 13. It's 10 a.m. and so let's begin our session. Right? So our session this week focuses on the recap on file handling, and we will look a bit on to the arrays. Right? So we did a file handling last week. Like if you had watched the session, we discussed all this. So let's start with a multiple choice question. Which among the following is the correct syntax of closing the file if the name of the file is my file, right? So how will you close the file if the name of the file is my close? So you know that when working with files, you have to open the file, you have to close the file. So which of the following is how we uh, close the file, right? So A, B, C, or D. So you have 1 minute to answer that question. Okay, right. So we've got two response from Jimson and Krishna. You said D, and no response from Eva. Okay, yeah. So two responses, both are D. Yes, that is the correct answer. So this is the correct way to close the file. So you have the file name, and then dot operator, and then the close function, right? So that is how we close a file. Right. Now let's attempt this question. Write the C++ code to display the data from a file named node.txt. Assume the file has names stored of type string. Your program should read till the end of file. Right? So you have 5 minutes to attempt this question. Right? So for if you are online, Jimson and Krishna have already given their student ID. Eva and Tarataki, can you please provide your student ID while doing this question? Okay, so I hope you are attempting the question. So as you attempt, keep on sharing your answers. Okay, while others are doing the question, Krishna, let's see your solution. Okay, right. So, this is the main function, right? And you created another function in the main. So, discard line function you've created inside the main function, right? So, yep, this is the main function. The other functions can be below the int main or above the int main, right? So there's one error, and the other error is you have to open file.open, right? But you have not created the file, right? So you can create the file using ifshame, offshame, or fshame, right? So you haven't used it. So those are the two errors. And if we your discrete line function, it is a string name, and you are getting the name while name is not equals to blank. Our program says your program should read the file till the end of the file, right? So good attempt, Krishna, but you can get a better solution like from this, right? So keep on trying. Your solution is okay. There are minor errors. So attempt again. I'm sure you'll be able to get a better solution. Okay, so no other solutions. Is anyone still working on the problem? Or do you want me to complete the problem if you're stuck anywhere? So if you are still attempting the problem, do indicate. If you want me to do the problem, do indicate. Okay? So yeah. By the way, all of you can hear me? Yes, sir. So Krishna has asked, yeah, if I could do this. So, the rest of you want me to do it or you are attempting it? Jimson, Eva, Taratake, your response please. Okay, sir. Right. So Taratake, you have your while loop. I like your while loop, right? You're reading till the file has not ended, but you haven't declared file and you haven't declared variable and you are displaying it, right? So that will cause an error, right? So Krishna and Taratake, right? So thank you for attempting, and yeah, your program has a few errors, but it was a good attempt, both of you, okay? And Eva and Jimson, don't worry, we will go over this problem together, right? Now, our question says write a C++ code to display data from a file named node.txt. Assume the file has names stored of type string. Your program should real till the end of file. Okay, right. So I'll just do the int main, but before the int main, the most important thing when working with files is you have to include this library, right? So it will be, let's take include and fstream, right? So together with the IO stream, we need to have the fstream. So yeah, it should be see there, include. Right? Now let's work on our int main. So this is our main function. Right. So first of all, we need to create a file. Right? So both Krishna and Tatake, they use the file without creating it. So since we are only reading from the file, we can have it ifstream file. So we are creating a file of data type ifstream, right? So there are two types, ifstream and offstream, right? So ifstream, how I remember which one to use is ifstream has a I, it starts with an I, right? So I, it means input, and offstream O, it means output. So if you're outputting something to a file, use offstream, and if you're getting input from a file, you use ifstream. And this may help you, like the I before the stream. So I means input. So input will take the input from the file. So I've created a web file with the data type ifstream, right? Next you open the file. So let's do file dot open, right? And the name of the file, just like Krishna did. So it was node.txt. Yeah. Since you are using ifstream, there's not need for iOS colon in, right? But if you have the data type as fstream, then you will use that, right? So for now, let's keep it simple and use this. So now we have opened the file, right? So as said, we will read the names and they are stored of type string, right? So to get the data from the file and store it in our program, what we need is a string to store it. So let's take a string and we can name it word, right? Now we can iterate through a file, right? So while as Takatake did, so not file dot end of file, right? Till the file is not ended, what we can do, we can read data from the file. So we can read the word from the file, and then we can print that word. And we can end that line, right? So while the file is not ended, we read the particular word from the file and we display it to the user. And after that, we close our file after working with the file. So file dot close, right? Yeah, and then you will have your return 0. Right. So, yep, this is a simple code to read data from a file and display the data onto the standard output, right? So anyone has any questions regarding this problem, or are all of you clear on this, or still any confusion? So Krishna is clear. What about the rest of you? Are you clear? Yep, so I'm moving on to the next part. If you have any questions, you can ask anytime, right? Now, let's move on to the next part. So I hope all of you are clear on this one. Right. So next part is a simple multiple choice question. Which stream class is used to both read and write on files? Right. So it's simply asking which header file or what type of stream should we use to read and write to and from files? Right. Okay, right. So we have already got two responses. Krishna, your response again, C, and Eva, your response. Okay, right, yeah. So you get answer it so fast. So okay. So the correct answer is C. Now Eva, let me explain you, right? So which stream class is used to read and write on files, right? So off stream is just used to write to the files. If stream is to read from the file. So IR stream is not associated with files, we read it. So if stream, we use it to only read to from files. Off stream, we only use it to write on files. But F stream, we use it to both read and write from files. So the correct answer is C. Eva, you now know why the answer is C? Okay, right, great. Now let's move on to the next part. Now, which stream class is to only read from files? Now attempt this one. We have 1 minute. So I've got two responses, and Krishna and Jimson, your answer. Krishna said B, and Jimson B. Okay. So this time Eva, Krishna and Jimson are correct. Okay, right. So, Tatake, you said A. Now, why I cannot be the answer? Because our question says which stream class is to only read from files. Now, as I said, I is off stream, right? And the answer is B, if stream. If stream, just input, right? So we're getting input from the file. That means we are reading from the file. How to remember it? There's an I in between, in the front end. So I input, we get the input from the file. And I of it is out, which means output. We write to the file. So which stream is to only read from files? So read from the files, it is input, and input is I. So if stream, right? So that's how you can remember the answer. The correct answer is B. Karatake, you clear now on why B is the answer? Great. Now let's move on to the next part. Okay. It's a similar question. I hope all of you get this one correct this time. So which stream class is to only write on files? Right? You have 1 minute, quickly attempt it. Great. Right? So good job all of you. I know that all of you will get this concept. Eh? Now, next question. Alright. So, for this session, these were all the questions for file handling. Now we move on to the next part of our session, which is based on 2D arrays. Right? So, we know the normal arrays, the 1D array, which are like this, and it has only one row and many columns, right? Now in a 2D array, we can have like this. So it can have many columns and many rows, depending on how you have initialized it. So for example, this one there are 1, 2, 3, 4 rows and 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 columns. So it is a 4 by 4 2D array. Right? And this is a syntax. So just like the array, okay, so one mistake here is that this one part should be here. Right? Yeah. Sorry for that. So this is syntax for Java. And C++, you have double data type, demo data type, followed by duplicates. In these duplicates, you will indicate the row and the column. So for example, in this case, there are 4 rows and there are 4 columns. So it will be 4 rows, 4 columns. Right? So clear up to there. Right? So now you will quickly attempt this question and let's see what we get. Right? So you have 3 to 4 minutes to attempt this question. Okay, so let's look at this question for data. Right? Because I have the solution for this one there. So this together, so let's get together and let's drop it there. 0, 1, 2. It's the same as no other three. So 0, 3. So in the section 1, we need 1.2, 10, 9, 10, 3.2, right? And then we have 9.2, 0.5, 1.5, negative 1.2, and then 7.3, 7.9, 4.8. Right, so this row won't be there. So it's a 3 by 3 array. So it will be 3 and 3 when declaring the array. But since we are giving the values, there's no need to indicate the values. So row 2, column 1. Our row 2 is this and the column 1 is this value. So the correct answer is 7.9 and that is, so it is row 0, row 1, row 2 and column 1. So it is 7.9. So the answer is B. So Krishna, you got the answer correct. Eva got the answer correct. Tatake and Jimset, right? So yeah, this is how we do the question, right? So these are the first array question on 2D arrays, and I hope you have understood now how to tackle such problems, right? Yeah. All of you clear on this one? Shall we move on to the next question? Okay, so how to get the values in the box? I don't necessarily need to draw the box, like this is for demonstration. So as I did, it was, can you hear now? Can all of you hear me? Eva, you can hear me? Eva, can you hear me now? Okay, right. So yeah, I can see that you can hear me, I think. So if you cannot hear me, just restart your browser, okay? Yeah, and see your mic. Okay, right. So Taratake, oh, you got the. Okay, so Eva has asked to repeat. Taratake, you can also get the answer from this repetition, right? So the first thing we did, so it's row 0, column 0, row 0, column 1, and row 0, column 2. So according to that, we just insert our data in our 2D array so that we can know in a matrix so that we can know which data is where. So we have to know the value in row 2. So the first one is row. In the second box, we have the column there. So this is row, this is column. So row 2, column 1. 0, 1, 2. Row 2 and column 1. Column 0, column 1. We have this value. And this value is 7.9. So the answer is B. Right? Clear now, Eva and Taratake? Okay, right. So now let's move on to our next slide. Yeah, so it's a similar question. So the only this one, right? So which of the following statements replaces 99 with 77, right? So yeah, attempt this. I hope you all get this one correct, right? So yeah. Okay, Jimson, Krishna and Eva, you have given your answer. Jimson and Taratake, your answer, please. Okay, Taratake, no idea. Okay, let's Okay. Right. So Krishna and Eva, your answer is correct. Right? That means you get the concept. Now Taratake. Right? Which of the following statements replaces the value 99 with 77? Right? So 99 is here. And 99 is, let's look at row 1, row 2. It is at row 2 and at which column? Column 0, column 1, column 2. Right? Oh, it is at column 2 in terms of computing. So it is 0, 1, 2, column 2 and row 0, 1. It is at row 1. So row 1, column 2. The name of our array is items. So items at that index, we are changing the value to 77. That's why our answer is A. Do you get it now, Tarataki? Or still are you confused? So yeah, so you just access that row and that column and you just change the value you want to change it. So are you clear now? So Jimson has got it. Okay, right. Tataki have also got it. Right. So I hope you all have learned something from today's session. And yes, so that is the end of our session. We have managed to finish in 33 minutes. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can stay back and ask. And I hope you have learned something from today's session. And yeah, that's all for today. If you have any questions, you can ask. I'll be here for a few minutes and then, okay, much of the doubts are cleared now? Yes. Okay. So yeah, we should start revising for finals. Okay, so Eva, you asked on question number 1, right? So question number 1 was, which of the following is the correct syntax for closing a file? So the syntax for closing a file, you have the file name, and then you have the dot operator, you have a dot there, and you have close function, right? So this is how we close a file. The file name, dot, and the close function. So when you press dot, the def plus will automatically generate a lot of functions. So from there, use the close function to close a file. Right, Eva? Okay. So any other questions? Okay. So which square brackets represent row and which one represents column? So we have two square brackets. It is row by column. So this one is the row and this one is the column. Right, Karataki? Okay, set. Any other questions? Vincent, no, we will still have our class on Friday or not? Yeah, you will have your classes till week 14. Yeah, the past sessions, right? So if you are based in Suva, in Lodala, you can attend the past sessions, which are on Thursdays and Fridays. My session is on Friday at 3 p.m. Yeah. So most of the things we discussed today will be in the past worksheet. Okay, right? So I believe that's all for today. See you again next week or this week in the past session. Right? Thank you all very much for attending the session.